Everyone, remain calm.
Yeah, that's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.
Somebody talk to me! What is happening?
Welcome to Jurassic World.
You're listening to the Jurassic Park Podcast.
You want to consult here or in my bungalow? Hold on to your butts.
Well, we're back.
Hello and welcome to the 92nd episode of the Jurassic Park Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Jost, and we're here to discuss all things Jurassic Park. In this episode, we've got a bunch of fun news to go over and another Jurassic birthday. We introduce a new offshoot of the Amorfine segment with Jaye Jurassick. This one is called Hunters and Gatherers, where he brings on a guest to discuss collections and, of course, Jurassic Park as a whole. Jaye Jurassick speaks with an amazing collector and customizer, Ted Brothers, in the brand new segment. Then we'll wrap up the episode with another trip into the audio segment to hear from Samuel L. Jackson. Now, this past week, my loot crate showed up on my doorstep featuring the primal theme for this month, and of course I tore it open as quickly as possible. I've been a long-time subscriber to Loot Crate, so it was nice to finally get some more Jurassic love from Loot Crate. Now this month they sent out a number of typical items that you'll find in Loot Crate, and this time they added in the Factory Entertainment electrified fence Velociraptor sign. It's certainly a great item, something I didn't have already, but I kind of wished it was something a little bit more exclusive. Typically Loot Crate ships out items you can't really get anywhere else, so it is a bit disheartening to get something that you can find elsewhere, or in many cases, you already own. Now, anyway, it's a nice item, and I'm glad to have it, and while it's totally not an exclusive, it's still fun to own. Next topic, for anybody heading out to the exhibition this Sunday, April 2nd, for the Jurassic meetup featuring a showing of Jurassic World on the IMAX screen in 3D, the Raptor meet and greet, Jack Horner Q&A, and of course the exhibition tour. I will be there along with contributors of the podcast, Jaye Jurassick and Jennifer Tarrick, Josh Evans, Nublar7, who you've heard here. He'll be there as well, with of course all the Jurassic Outpost guys. It's going to be a great meetup, so we hope to see you there. Don't forget, we have a special promo code available to listeners of the podcast to use for Jurassic World, the exhibition, in its final few weeks here. Head to fi.edu or call the museum at 215-448-1200 to purchase tickets and use the code JWGENER to get $5 off daytime adult admission tickets to Jurassic World, the exhibition. This is limited to 4 tickets per person. It does include general admission to the Franklin Institute, but it cannot be combined with any other offer or discount. Upgrades are available on site for the IMAX and 3D theaters. It is redeemable online, over the phone, or at the ticketing desk. Now, processing fees do apply when ordering your tickets in advance. It does exclude holidays, but guess what? It's valid through 4/19/17. The show's almost done. Get there before April 19th, 2017 to redeem this code. Again, the code is JWGENER. Use it and let us know when you do. It's a really packed episode this week, so why don't we get things started off with a bit of Jurassic news from around the world.
18 minutes and your company catches up on 10 years of research.
Access rate program. Access new security.
These pictures were taken in hospital in Costa Rica 48 hours ago.
I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but look.
Boy, we hate being right all the time.
It's Dave. I guarantee it.
Laura Dern has been making the rounds promoting her upcoming film Wilson, and she spoke with Entertainment Weekly about her time in Jurassic Park and wanting to come back for another round. Here's what she had to say.
I feel so proud to have been in what has become this iconic blockbuster and have a feminist female in the middle of it. She's the real deal. Goes on her own to get the power back on, fights off dinosaurs. She's not taking the boys' BS. As I said to the people who are making the new series, if you guys make the last one, you gotta get Ellie Sattler to come back. She's always the one who saves the day, man.
So it's great to hear that she'd consider coming back for more, and she's right. She's totally been the one that saves the day multiple times before. I think we'd all enjoy seeing it happen once more, right? Until then, you can find the link in our show notes for the article with Laura Dern on EW.com. we've talked about the Seth Engstrom Jurassic World artwork before, but now Jurassic Outpost has a few cool pics of the transition from the Big Bad in Jurassic World's early concepts as the Malosaurus to the Indominus Rex, of course. On their site, you'll be able to see a pic of the unproduced Velociraptor Red, too. It's a great design that harkens back to the male raptors in Jurassic Park 3, but it also mixes in the coloring of the Jurassic World type raptors. Now, if this design had been included in the film or elsewhere, it certainly would have been the coolest looking dinosaur in the film. Seth Engstrom produced some incredible artwork for Jurassic World, so make sure to find the link within our show notes. Soon enough, Jurassic World the exhibition will be leaving Philly, and it was finally announced that the next stop along the tour is the Chicago Field Museum. Now, this museum will hold the exhibition from May 26, 2017 to January 7th, 2018. Another nice long run in a city in the US, which honestly kind of surprises me. Chicago, while certainly a hike from Philly, isn't really that different of a spectrum for the tour. I thought for sure that the show would end up overseas to give it a varied run, but actually, if you think about it, I bet you it ends up in London in about February 2018, giving it a nice run before the sequel comes out in June 2018. But for now, head to our website to find the link to the Field Museum in Chicago and for more information on the exhibition. We've got another great Jurassic birthday to celebrate this week. On Tuesday, the 28th of March, we celebrate Vince Vaughn's birthday. Yes, that's right, Vince Vaughn, he is in the franchise. I still find it pretty funny that people are surprised by that fact. But anyway, let's wish the original Owen of the franchise, Nick Van Owen, actor Vince Vaughn, a happy birthday.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
The closest you will ever come to living dinosaurs. Jurassic World, the exhibition. Now in its final weeks at the Franklin Institute, based on one of the biggest blockbusters in cinema history. Don't miss this awe-inspiring event for the whole family. Only at the Franklin Institute. For tickets, visit fi.edu. And remember, if something chases you, run.
Got some change. He takes quarters. I got $1.10. How'd you get it? You don't want to know.
Who named it? We got it.
Where did you get that?
I got it on eBay.
When they're expensive, put them back.
He's a digger.
Muchacho, let's on the loose. Item promised to conduct a very thorough on-site inspection.
And get stuff in the sand.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I got it for $150.
But we'll pay it. And then there's the merchandise. I can personally...
Donald, this park was not built to cater only for the super rich.
That first park was legit.
I could write all kinds of numbers on this check.
Remember that on InGen's list? It's because it wasn't on their list.
This fossilized tree sample, which we call amber.
And we came here to watch. You came to strip mine the place.
When you put together, a one group of harvesters, called the hunters.
My point is the predators don't hunt when they're not hungry.
Steven said, I think this movie is about hunters versus gatherers. Hunters versus gatherers versus hunters versus gatherers versus...
Oh, you're breaking our heart. Saddle up. Let's get this movable beast underway.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the very first Hunters and Gatherers show. This is a special from the Amber Fine show. And here I'm going to have collectors talk about their collections and what they're collecting and why they got into it in the first place, because it's an obsession, really. Our first guest is the awesome customizer and collector and beard connoisseur, Mr. Ted Brothers. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me, man. I'm honored to be the first on this program.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was like, I've been talking about getting you on this show. Like, I wanted to start this collector's corner, basically. Yeah. And I was like, I want to start with this guy because I like what he's doing. His page is growing, and he seems like an awesome dude. So
and I'm a giant Jurassic nerd, so
there you go. That's what this show's all going to be about. Just being really big Jurassic nerds.
32-year-old adult male playing with dinosaurs.
I'm not too far off, man. I'm 30. You know what I mean? I'm 30. I'm still playing with dinosaurs. I'll catch myself with the Malcolm glider every once in a while, just going around my room.
I'll do it. Yeah, I just got that too. So it was a total nostalgic trip when I got that thing in the mail. It Like
Yeah.
when we were kids, and we used to have the little Batman, the Kenner Batman.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Swoosh him around the room and stuff like that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then my kid wanted to take it, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll let her play with it for a minute. But then it's mine. Mine. It's going back on my shelf.
Yeah, I know the feeling. All right. Well, I'm gonna ask you a question I'm gonna be asking everybody on this show. Trying to go with the same theme that Brad goes. The one that's pretty much one's created this whole network of segments now. You know what I mean? The Jurassic Park Podcast. He starts out with that question, like you in a raptor in the kitchen, what would you do? It's a cool question. He asks everybody, and everybody always bugs out about it. Now, my question is to every collector that comes onto the show, it's going to be, are you a hunter or are you a gatherer? Now, when I mean that, I'm asking, are you a hunter? Are you ruthless when it comes to collecting? Are you the one person that see a little kid buying a dinosaur and kind of just like, as he turns around, snatch that and run off with it? They go to the counter to pay for it. Or are you a gatherer? Are you slowly but surely collecting and just, everything go smoothly, you know what I mean? And not out there like savage. You're not, either you're the Roland Tembo or Timbo of collecting, or you're the Malcolm, like not too sure, you're gonna wait your time and you're just gonna let the chaos ensue, as it goes on, and then you realize you have a collection that's like taking over your entire house.
Yeah.
So what do you think, man?
Well, let's set the record straight. I don't attack children in Toys R Us for dinosaur toys. I buy my stuff like an adult on eBay. I guess I'm more of like the I don't know. I guess I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I buy it on eBay. I go out and buy the stuff that I need. I don't wait to find it. If I need something, or if I can find it like at that moment in an auction or whatever, I'll go out and buy it. I don't think I'm too ruthless. But because I don't really go to like toy fairs like around here or anything like that, or any kind of flea markets. I get all my stuff pretty much online. Occasionally I hit up a Goodwill, and then that's where I got most of my books and novels and like VHS and stuff like that. So that's the only real like going out hunting stuff, because even though I'm a huge Jurassic Park fan, I'm new to recollecting everything again. So it's like back when I did it like 15 years ago or whatever, when I was going to thrift stores and stuff like that. I mean, Jurassic Park stuff was everywhere. That's where I got most of my things, was in thrift stores. And so now it's like I basically just buy it on eBay. And so yeah,
you're like a semi-hunter, semi-gatherer. You're almost you're like a Peter Ludlow.
Yeah.
You're on the hunter's team, but you're kind of like
set up base camp right here in the middle of this this field.
Nest.
Yeah, right in the middle of the Rex nest.
Yeah.
A good place as any.
Yeah, exactly. So you start. Okay, cool, man. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. All right, now, so let's start out by asking you, what got you into Jurassic Park? Why is Jurassic Park like very important in your life? So let's go down a little bit down memory lane.
3 hours, right? 3 hours, 3-hour episode. Yeah. All right. So Reader's Digest version. It started, my love or obsession for dinosaurs started even before Jurassic Park. It was really like in the late 80s with Dino Riders. That was like my first like introduction to like dinosaurs and humans fighting and stuff like that. And so I remember getting the electronic Triceratops and that big Diplodocus. And those were like my dinosaurs that I had. And I think at the time I was 4 or 5 years old, maybe 6, I can't remember. But that was my first introduction to like dinosaurs and dinosaur toys and stuff. And then around 1993, I remember finding out about Jurassic Park, the movie. My dad was reading the newspaper, and this was like before the internet, kids. We got our information from pieces of paper that were thrown in our driveway, and so that's, my dad was reading an article about it, said Jurassic Park was a novel, is being made into a movie, and it's going to be super scary, and you can't go see it. And so my dad was really adamant about that, and so later that year for Christmas, my first official like JP toy was the Dr. Grant. My grandma got it for me for Christmas, and that was my very first one. And that was I want to say that was actually my only like official JP toy that I ever got from the first like series and the movies and stuff like that.
It was your grandma that got it?
Do what now?
It was your grandma, right?
Yeah, my grandmother. She got it.
Me too.
Yeah.
My grandma was the
one.
Like, yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like she went to the store and like, well, what do I get? I guess it was an 8 or 9, for Christmas, and she got me Dr. Grant, which was great because I still have that one to this day. Still, he's all like yellow.
The original. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, like wobbly legs and everything like that, and like pale skin. But
I have mine was the Dilophosaur.
Oh yeah.
It's one eye is like has no paint on it anymore, but it's you know what I mean. I have a bunch of Dilophosaurs with it. Like I think I have like 6, but that one is like always the most special one because that was the very first one, and that was from my grandma as well. That's awesome.
Yeah, and that was really the only. Which is funny because I'm such a big fan of it, but that was the only thing I ever got from that line because I think I want to say it was like 94ish or whatever, like when the season or the series 2 started to come out, but like I think that started to come out at the same time everybody was getting like Power Ranger fever or whatever.
That's
and
right.
Like,
yeah.
That's what I started. I mean, I really started getting the Power Rangers, and so the Jurassic Park stuff was like on clearance shelves. It wasn't on the main aisle anymore, at least in my area. And I think I just forgot about it.
Yeah, I remember that. Like it was on. I remember where we used to go. We used to go to the Kmart in my town, and when we went to that Kmart, it was always like it had its own basic like 2 aisles. Was like a whole aisle, one side and the other side was all Jurassic Park. Yeah, it's like what we see today with Star Wars. It was like the same like respect given to the toy line, and towards the end, you're right, they started moving it down, and I remember it being on the last aisle right before you hit hardware. Like at the end, there was the Series 2, and that's where like Malcolm was and a bunch of those, and I was lucky enough to get some of those. But they Series 2 came a bit late in the whole thing.
That's what it was overshadowed by Power Rangers, and because like I remember I had. I went crazy over Power Rangers, got all the stuff and Zords and everything like that, and then like forgot about Jurassic Park, really. I mean, that Grant was the only thing I had, and I still played with him as a kid because he scaled up great with like my Kenner Predators and my Kenner Aliens and like that kind of stuff that I still had, And I would still, I would use the Triceratops, the Dino Riders Triceratops as the sick Triceratops from Jurassic Park, because I never had the rubber Kenner one. And before, the internet, man, like I didn't know half that stuff existed. I mean, it was just whatever I saw in the store was in the store.
That's right.
A lot of the characters, when I started to collect Lost World stuff in like late 90s, a lot of the characters from the series 1 and series 2 of the Jurassic Park line, I didn't even know existed. I mean, I didn't know there was a series 2 Ellie. I didn't know there was a series 2 Malcolm. Like I didn't know that stuff because, now it's like you have YouTube and Google, you can look and get whatever you want. Back then it was like, you have everything right in front of you. It's very different now when you collect stuff. Back then, the same thing with me. I actually remember exactly when I started seeing all these new items that I never even knew existed. Was in '99. I was on a computer with my cousin because it was New Year's of '99, and we were like sitting by the computer because we the big Y2K scare. Yeah, so we're sitting there in front of the computer, and his dad, my uncle, would come into the room and be like, "All right, you guys keeping an eye on the computers?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're here," and we're on eBay looking at that stuff, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I can't wait to get older and get a really good job. And I'm going to go broke because I'm going to buy all this stuff. You know what I mean? A lot of it, just like you said, we did not know existed. Like I knew what was on the back of the box that Grant came in. That was all I knew that existed. And that T-Rex on the back, the Stan Winston stand-in T-Rex, the one that's not the one that you got. Yeah. Like, I thought that thing existed and could never find it. Like I always thought that was a thing, but it wasn't that actual Rex. It was the red Rex that we ended up giving. But what was on the back of the box, that's all I assumed existed. So different times, man.
Yeah, it really was because you would open the box up and you would get this little catalog, and in the catalog it told you what was coming in that summer or later that winter or spring or whatever. And the Series 2 one, I remember they had the colors the different version of the Explorer and the Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah.
And and you're waiting to like when those things are actually gonna come out. Sorry, me talking so loud, Siri actually turned on. I didn't call for you, Siri. It's a CD-ROM.
It's an interactive CD-ROM.
So like you didn't know really what was coming out till you looked at those catalogs or the back of the box and or the back of the card. And some items I really didn't even know existed, and I didn't even know about the unreleased ones until like I saw one of those catalogs. But the thing was, like those when they showed you like Series 2, you had to buy Series 2 to see that. You wouldn't see Series 2 with Series 1. So like if you would get like a catalog for Series 2 or the card for, they would show you that it had to be like a Series 2 figure. And I saw some of them on, like, not all of them, but I saw some of them on the back of the Malcolm card, because I was able to get Malcolm because I saw him at that end of the aisle. I was like, oh, that's Malcolm, you know? And so that's how you found out about stuff back then.
Yeah.
It's not like now that you just click, 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 click,
I know.
and there it is. And now we have JP Toys, too. They'll show you everything that came out. Awesome website. And
JP Toys, I was actually just on that before before you called. I was just trying to get some reference points and stuff like that, of like times and dates stuff came out. And I was going through it because I was actually, I actually just posted on Instagram. Got the big pterodactyl from the Lost World, and I was looking.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was looking to see how many more dinosaurs I needed to complete the Lost World dinosaur
Dude,
collection.
There's actually a checklist on there.
Oh, is there?
Yep. I'll send it to you on Instagram so you can check. Yeah, the guys at JP Toys are really awesome. They created checklists, and that's what I used when I was when I started collecting again, and to get through it. Some of those items are going to be tough to find, you know. And some of them.
There's one like I always like right now. I've got the basic ones, like the main ones.
Yeah.
And a few. Yeah, actually, I've got all the series 1 Lost World dinosaurs.
Nice.
Except for 2, and it's the Spitter, which is the repaint of the original Spitter, and then that one that's gonna be impossible. It's super expensive. It's like the Carnotaur or
the Bone Crusher.
Bone Crusher, yeah. And
yeah,
so
dude.
I think I saw it on eBay like the other day, and it was like 160 or something like that. I'm like, God, my wife would kill me if she saw that paid out.
I got it. Like, I actually got the Bone Crusher last year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and I got it for a really good deal. I was able to. I have no idea how. This is one of those amazing deals like you get all the time. But by the way, everybody, Ted Brothers, he gets the most incredible deals. Like,
I don't know how I do it.
He goes into a thrift store and he'll find a whole 100% complete Compound Command Center. Like, how do you do that? Like, I go into the thrift store and I find 1 million copies of Space Jam that I sent to Brad one day.
Space Jam.
Because if you heard our podcast at Christmas, we were talking about movies from back then, and one of the movies that Brad really liked. I
believe I can fly.
Yeah, it was Space Jam, and I found like 1 million copies of it, and I was like, dude,
man.
Look at all these. But I don't find anything ever really cool Jurassic wise. I find like 100 copies of like the VHS, but never anything.
That's what I got. I actually finally recently just got all of the VHS from the Jurassic Park series, and then a couple of the novels, and then I think one of the DVDs I was missing. But yeah, that's all I ever find nowadays. I mean, I guess actually back when it was like right after the Lost World came out, right before Jurassic Park 3 came out, I lived near this thrift store, and it was this big Metro Atlanta kind of thrift store thing. And they always had, like every Monday they'd get new stuff in, I guess, over the weekend. And for some reason this place was the honey hole for Jurassic Park stuff. And that's where I would always go, because in most of the stuff I had before when I started collecting the Lost World stuff, I didn't buy it from the store. I got all my stuff from the thrift store, because I guess people were just getting rid of it, you know? Like, it was kind of getting that age of, like, the internet was taking over and kids were losing interest in dinosaurs and stuff like that, but there were still people who liked dinosaurs, and, like, I went into the thrift store, and that's where I got the command compound. It wasn't complete, but I got that for like $5. And then I got like 2 or 3 Jungle Explorers. I had Bush Devil Trackers. They had the Bull T-Rex in there for like $2 one day. Bought that. Yeah, man. And like the Stegosaurus, I think it was about a year's worth of going in there and collecting for like pennies, man. I mean, you could go in there every day and you'd find something new. And we had, I think, after a year of collecting it, we had like 2 Rubbermaid bins, like the big bins, full of Jurassic Park dinosaurs just from buying them at this thrift store, man. And it was great. And like, it had been years since I'd been in a thrift store, and last year I was like, I'm going to go into a Goodwill and see if there's anything there, and there's just nothing. And I think maybe people sell stuff on eBay now. I don't know. I mean, but I never can find anything in thrift stores anymore.
Yeah, stuff is popping up here and there. I do see that on like on the Facebook JP Toys and sometimes on Instagram, but they're starting to see how like the value has gone up on everything since Jurassic World. Like you be able to go to eBay, and I've said this before, and get something like a Jurassic Park lot. There would be just a bunch of stuff, miscellaneous Jurassic Park items, all boxed up, and you'd get all of that for like $30 the most, maybe. I did a lot of that, and then I would get one of those lots, and stuff that I already had like a bunch of times over, I would resell, and then I'd use that money to buy something I don't have. But now you really don't find Jurassic Park lots as much as before. Now what you usually find is like singular items. Like let's say they got a Jurassic Park lot, but now they're selling everything separately to get the most buck out of it. Because a while back you would get a Velociraptor Series 1 Jurassic Park for like $2. Now you see it up to like $15, $20. And it's crazy how much I've seen it go for at conventions. And I've seen Velociraptor Series 1 go for like $35 at a convention. And I'm like, what? No, that's no. But some people buy it. A lot of the new fans are buying, and they're buying it at this amount of money because, it's just they're trying to collect something that they were not around for, because they probably weren't around for in the 90s. They're probably born later on, or they were born in the time when Jurassic Park came out, and they're trying to capture that Kenner feel of these dinosaurs, because we both can agree they're the best ones.
No, they stand the test of time, man. I mean, they really do. I always look at, like, I have the Bull T-Rex, the Thrasher T-Rex, the Red Rex, and then I have the Indominus Rex, the Stomp and Strike, and I have the Jurassic Park 3 T-Rex. And I always look and I'm like, which one is like the best T-Rex? And that's always like, them's are fighting words, people will fight over. But like the Bull T-Rex, man, that thing is so solid, and it's my favorite one. But like, it's just the way it's built, it's just solid, and you look at like, even like the Kenner Red Rex, man, that's like 24-year-old dinosaur, and the one I have is still standing. It doesn't, the electronics don't work in it, but you think about like what we put those things through when we were kids, and if you still have all your original stuff, man, like if you did that if I gave my 4-year-old daughter Lex the Raptor pack and the electronic Indominus Rex and put her out in the backyard, they would be destroyed within like an hour or so. I mean, they wouldn't last. They're made cheap, man. And the our stuff. I mean, look at it. It's still standing.
Yeah. You really had to be like Sid from Toy Story to really destroy these toys.
Strap a rocket to your bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Because I've seen, and you've seen as well. You've gotten some dinosaurs off of eBay that have been like pretty much destroyed, and you bring them back to life, which is really cool. And I've done that too with certain vehicles and stuff like that. And you get them for like not much, because they're the guys are throwing them out, and then you just you fix them up and you make them look awesome. Actually, that brings us to another point. Tell us a little bit about what you do with some of these dinosaurs in collection with your customizing. Because if you follow Brad, if you follow this the Jurassic Park podcast, you've seen that Brad put up a community thing, and you've seen some of the work that Ted Brothers has done, and just tell us a little bit about that, man.
Yeah. All right. So it all started last year. After I got back into collecting again, and I came across a picture on, I want to say it was Facebook. Somebody had shared it, and it was of Jurassic Park repaints. The guy, I can't remember his name, but he's down in like Ecuador or something like that, down South America somewhere.
Manuel.
Yeah, Manuel. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And I saw a picture of the bull T-Rex that he repainted, and I was like, is that the same bull, like the Kenner bull T-Rex? And I was looking at him like, that is amazing. Like, and he just does it with watercolors. And so I have no like art background, or I don't know how to do anything like that. So I was like, I want to try and do that. Like, I want to see if I can do it. And so I remember last year I went to my parents' house, and I was up in their attic, and I was looking around, and I actually found a box of my old Jurassic Park toys that had somehow survived, kind of, and was whatever was left of what my younger brother's dogs didn't completely chew. And so like parts of dinosaurs, you know. Right. And so I was kind of like sifting through. I was like, I'm just going to take this home with me and go through and see if there's anything salvageable. Because that's when I was starting to get back into collecting, because I had started watching Victoria's Cantina's videos.
Nice.
Her Jurassic Park videos. I found those on YouTube. And then I'm going to butcher his last name, but I think his first name is like Baptiste or something like that.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I started watching his stuff on YouTube, and these guys are like showing all the old toys from when we were kids, and I was like, that's what kind of started to get me back into collecting again last year, you know. But and so I got that box, and I was like, I'm going to go through it, see what's salvageable, see if I can, piece together some sort of collection and start adding onto it. And only a couple of the things still worked in it. On the bull T-Rex that I used to have, my brother's dog chewed it completely into pieces, and it was just gone. And so that was like sickening to me, because I loved that thing so much. But I had a Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus that it was covered in mud. It had been put in water or something like that. Somebody did something to it, and it was just really like in bad shape. So I was like, that's what I'm going to paint. And so I just started to do it, and I did. I filmed myself doing it, and then I put a time-lapse video up on my YouTube channel, kind of showing the process, because it took me like 6 hours to do it, but I kind of condensed it down into like a 5 or 6 minute video. Right. So I did that, and I got really good response with it, and it turned out really nice. And so I just kept doing it, and I had tons of broken dinosaurs. I mean, we're talking let's see, I'm looking on the shelf now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think like 10 or 11 that were in really bad shape, paint missing, arms are gone or whatever. And so I just started practicing resculpting parts and trying to paint them to look like real animals, and kept putting the videos up, and then I started my Instagram page, which I had one already, but I really didn't do a whole lot with it. And so I started doing the dinosaurs, and then like doing Jurassic Park pictures, like recreation of scenes from the movie with the toys, and that got a huge response. And I think the first one I did was the sick Triceratops scene with all the little characters, and like overnight I had 1,500 likes. And this is coming from somebody who had 9 followers, and then it shot up overnight. And so I just kept doing it, and it's become an obsession now. It's like, how real can I make these animals look? Mm-hmm. And so that's basically what I spend most of my time doing is painting dinosaurs. And I don't paint, like I just finished a Red Rex repaint.
Yeah,
and
it looks beautiful, man.
Thank you. I don't paint like nice new minty dinosaurs. Like, I have respect for the dinosaurs. The one that I painted, she was like completely broken, like rips and tears.
Yeah, I remember you put a warning on it, like this animal was destroyed before I got to it. So.
I'm getting hate mail for painting the Red Rex, and like, guys, I'm making it better.
Yeah.
Fighting words because Rex.
There's the community in certain things is very sensitive, and there's like a few things that'll get this. There's a few couple like keywords and things that will get this community like fuming and going crazy. And it's like opening boxed Kenner toys, destroying some of the Kenner toys, and one of the most controversial ones is the T-Rex versus Spinosaurus. You know what I mean? Those three right there will get anybody that's a Jurassic anybody that's a Jurassic Park fan. If you put those 3 elements in a video, I swear that a Jurassic Park fan would just have like an aneurysm and just, you know, because it's crazy. I mean, and I could understand that. And I remember reading that and I started laughing because I'm like,
yeah, I had to go back and
probably. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, he's probably getting a lot of hate comments or private messages like, how could you do that? That dinosaur didn't do anything to you.
No, like, guys, I got it. It was already destroyed when I got it, man. So I fixed it up and I restuffed her with stuffing and fixed all the holes in her by patching them up with epoxy and everything like that. And so she's nice. She sits up on a shelf now, so she can spend the rest of her days here at my command compound, just hanging out, looking over the place. So. But yeah, I do the dinosaurs, I do the repaints and stuff like that, and you know, I practice. I'm getting better. I'm looking at older dinosaurs that I've done, and I'm looking at new ones that I've done, and I'm kind of looking at like the techniques that I'm using with washes and stuff like that. And I see a big difference from what I used to do my first one to, you know, recent ones that I've done. So it's like I've been improving on that part, but I also enjoy trying to make human characters.
Yes, that is really awesome.
Yeah, and so I was always bummed that we never got a John Hammond or a Lex with the original Kenner line.
Right.
And it was funny too, is going back to talking about only knowing what's on the back of the box, is like I always assumed that those characters existed. They were just not on the back of that box. So I would always like search for them, you know, like, well, surely I'll come across a Lex figure somewhere. She's like saves the day, you know.
Uh-huh.
And Timmy gets a figure, and all he does is stand in the control room with his hands on his head, jumping up and down.
Grab the gun.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but yeah, so I that was one of the first custom figures I made, was the Lex figure, and because I wanted to have it to recreate some scenes, but you can only do so many without other characters. So I did that, and you know, I made the Lex out of the Series 1 Ellie head and a Tim Murphy torso, Ellie arms, and then I sculpted legs for her and stuff like that, and just paint her to look like it, and you know, kind of do it like in the Kenner style when I'm do the humans and stuff, which is I try to keep it in that scale with the 93, 94, and then the 97, 98 Kenner style. I hate the small.
Yeah, I don't like it either. That's why Jurassic
that was
Park 3 was.
I protest that. 3 3/4 or whatever they are, the little G.I. Joe guys. I was so mad when I first saw those on shelves in like 2001 or 2000 or 2000. I was like, what is this? G.I. Joe size? Okay.
Yeah, whatever. And I'm like, is this where it's going? Really? Is this where it's going? Because I was so mad. It's funny because I'd walk up to the register fuming, still buying it because I'm such a completist. But I'm like, I'm not enjoying buying this though. I'm buying it though, but I'm not gonna enjoy it.
I actually got. I never bought any of the Jurassic Park 3 stuff at like full retail price because I worked at a mall at the time, and then I worked right next to a KB toy store in the mall, and I remember coming out one day. I know, right? And they were having like a big clearance blowout thing or whatever, and it was all their Jurassic Park 3 stuff, and it was all like discounted, like buy one figure get one free, and then like they had, I think, the patrol car, the little jungle car, the yellow car. Yeah, they had those for like $5, I think. So I bought a couple of those, and they didn't have the big Spinosaurus, which I wish they would have had it because I would have bought that too because I can never find that thing.
Yeah, and I have one. It was I think it's one of the only pieces I like from that collection.
Yeah,
because it looks a lot like the one in the movie.
Yeah. And so yeah, that's the, you know, I bought a few of the things, but on clearance, and of course all my stuff, like it got lost along the way. Like I had that moment where, you know, I moved out of the house, moved in with friends, we got house with roommates and stuff like that, and so like when I was moving out, I had all my bins of Jurassic Park stuff, and I was like, you know, I was at that stage where it was like, it's not cool to have boxes of toy dinosaurs, so I kind of like. I was like, I'm just going to leave this stuff here. I'm too cool for that, you know? And I kick myself because it's all gone. And I had to spend all this money and rebuy it all again, you know, except for Alan Grant was the little guy. He's the only one that survived. But I left everything at home. And, I mean, we're talking all the Jurassic Park stuff that I had found, all the Lost World stuff that I had found, Jurassic Park 3 stuff, everything was gone. Like my brothers, because I have 3 younger brothers that were under me. And so it went through each one of them through the past years. So I went to my brother under me. He played with it, left it outside. Dogs ate it, and it just kept going and going until there was nothing but like a shoebox of broken dinosaurs left when I got in my parents' attic. And I was like, this is all that left. Years of collecting, man, and it's just gone. But I think I enjoy the thrill of like the hunt of finding things, and like even little things like when people send me stuff. I got these Valentine's Day cards, the Jurassic Park Valentine's Day cards, and they haven't been used, but they're just so cool because it's like I love JP and pop culture kind of stuff. Like see it on something that doesn't make any sense, like a Valentine's Day card, and the Burger King watches, stuff like that. Like I love those things, and so I kind of enjoy it. I kind of like going and finding stuff if I ever can find things, but for the most part, getting things on eBay and then getting them in the mail. It's like Christmas. My wife thinks I'm insane every time she's like, you got another package in the mail? Are you going to be finished collecting anytime soon? I'm like, babe, you realize how many dinosaurs that are in these series? So, yeah. She rarely comes down to my room because I have like a basement and I have my studio where I do my music on one side, and I have the room downstairs, and that's my dino room. So I have shelves and everything hanging on the wall. And she never comes down here, and she like peeked in one day and she was like, oh my God. She's like, did you get all that stuff on eBay? I was like, well, yeah, some of it I got, but I mean, like 90% of it I got on eBay, And so, yeah, she's like, you got a lot of stuff. She's like, what are you going to do with all that? I'm like, look at it, take pictures. I'm like, get out of here, babe. I'm going to call Jay. He knows what's up.
Yeah. I get the same reaction from friends. They're just like, we're blown away that. Because most of my collection for a long time was in storage. And then, I started recollecting again in 2008. And I started getting little bits and pieces here and there when eBay was good to get stuff, you know? It still is. It's just, it's harder on the pocket. Every time, now when I go to eBay and if I get something, I hear that squeal that the Gallimimus makes when the T-Rex eats it? I hear that from my wallet,
I know. I feel you on that one. That's just like, I've been fortunate enough to get decent deals on eBay. I think out of everything that I've got so far, now I've completed a majority of the Jurassic Park series, the original series with all the original dinos and the vehicles, and a few things I'm missing. Like I don't have the command compound. I mean, I still have yet to get that because it's crazy money. And then the capture chopper, and then that Carnotaurus or the Carnosaur, whatever it is, the one that's the Series 2 one. So stuff like that I haven't really got, but I think the most thing that I've paid the most money for was the Bull T-Rex, and that was only $50, and it was in an auction, and I snaked in right at the last minute and got it. And I think the only reason that nobody wanted it is because it was missing one of the glass eyes, which that doesn't really bother me because it works, the electronics work in it, it's not all jacked up or anything like that. But I mean, that was, I think, 50, and I can't remember, I think it was 50, and that was with shipping. So I think I got it for less than that. But I mean, that's the most thing that I've paid the most money for.
So would you say that's because that brings me up to my next question. Would you say that's your most valuable piece, or what do you feel is your most valuable piece in your collection?
It's weird because it's like I think I've heard you talk about the Lost World being your favorite of the JP and stuff like that, and I have to totally agree with you on that. I love the Jurassic Park more than anything, and I love my Dr. Grant. I think my Dr. Grant might be my most sentimental, valuable piece.
Yeah, because you can go with sentimental and money wise, either or. Because I know some collectors put money value on things, and some collectors put just sentimental value on things. Because like I do, I put a huge sentimental value on all my stuff. And I never, if I do sell stuff, it's because I have 3 or 4 of it already, and I don't see the point of having that many. For myself, other collectors, I understand they have their thing, they want a million of one thing. That's cool, but to me, I don't find it for myself to have that. So I'm like, okay, I have a couple of these cards, I can sell 2 of the decks. That's good to go. But I see a lot of more sentimental value than money value. So either or, your most valuable piece money wise, or your most valuable piece I mean, probably the Rex, like the Bull or the Red Rex. I mean, the Red Rex, none of them
neither of the two Red Rexes that I have work. Like the electronics had stopped working.
Mine
and,
either. Mine either doesn't work.
Yeah. So, and it was floppy and standing over, so I had to take it apart and fix it. But I mean, like, what back to the Lost World thing is like the Lost World. I feel like the Lost World is my Jurassic Park movie. Like I never got to see Jurassic Park in theaters.
Me neither. Wow. Yeah.
And what I really hate is it came out. They released it again right in theaters for Jurassic Park 3D or something like that, right?
Yeah.
A few years ago. I missed that too.
Oh, I caught that one because it was like 2 days before my birthday, and I said to myself, like, I told everybody in my household and my family, I'm like, Steven Spielberg gave me the greatest gift ever, Jurassic Park 3D.
Yeah. And it's sad. Like, I really wish that I could see it in theaters, and maybe they'll come out again. Maybe they'll release it again. But I know, like, Lost World's coming out with its 20th anniversary, right, this year.
Yeah, my friend DC Villain was mentioning that to me, and I'm like, he's like, you think they might do a 3D version or like show it in theaters again? I hope they do.
That would be awesome.
I will be there.
I'd sit there all day.
Yeah, I'd literally just pay for like a day's worth of viewing it in the theater and sit there, bring some like spaghetti like Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and just sit there and eat my spaghetti.
So we have a theater like 20-something minutes from my house that serves you food and beverages while you're watching the movie.
Yeah, there's one like that.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, awesome. Heck yeah, dude. 5 hours of Jurassic Park and food. I could do that all day long.
Definitely.
But yeah, so Lost World that's my movie. That's my era, my Jurassic Park. I saw it in theaters. I had all the stuff with it, like it's the most sentimental to me. Like I enjoy the original stuff, but like I never had the Red Rex as a kid. I didn't have the Red Rex until last year. I mean, that's when I first was able to get it on eBay. So like the Bull T-Rex I had, and found that at the thrift store probably 98, 99-ish. So like that's probably my favorite. I think that's why it's my favorite T-Rex, because it's one that I've always had. I never had the Thrasher or anything like that. And so, the Bull T-Rex is my like one of my prized possessions that I really enjoy. That, and then the Grant and from the human characters from the Lost World line, the Ian Malcolm, the Series 1 Ian Malcolm with the little T-Rex.
Yeah.
Because that was the first that I got, and it's such a nostalgic piece for me,
Yeah.
And that's, if I had to take like just a handful of things, that'd be one of the ones. It's not my original, like I had to buy it again, but it's there's something about it, man. It's like, it just reminds me of being a kid again, going out in the backyard and recreating scenes from the Lost World, and just, he's every man, he's the hero, and same thing with him, so it's I think
I haven't liked that too of the Chaos Effect Velociraptrix. It was like one of the last gifts I got from my grandma. It was like, and I had at a point I had my collection stolen, like a good piece of it, and one of those was the Velociraptrix. Yeah, and so I rebought one off of eBay, and it's not the same one, but I always wanted it a part of my collection. Plus, I think it looks kick-ass, like badass looking figure.
I never got I never got any of the Chaos Effect dinosaurs. I think that's when I was too cool for dinosaurs. Like at that stage, and I was, I don't know. I mean, it was just I've gone through weird stages. Now it's like I'm 32. I don't even care. I mean, I've got a kid, and I'm like, yeah, I collect dinosaurs. What of it?
I went through the same stage. I just, I mean, you go through the
weird 20s. The weird 20s.
Not only that, and during the 20s, basically, was when like it was the dead zone of Jurassic Park, like 2001, Jurassic Park 3 came out. I was in my teens, and then all of a sudden, like in my 20s until Jurassic World, there was nothing really going on. So it's kind of like I still, drew dinosaurs here and there. I remember when I was I was in school, because I do artwork, so like I was painting still dinosaurs, like I was still doing dinosaur stuff. And I remember a professor telling me, he's like, you can't, if you go into the art business, you can't really paint always dinosaurs. And I'm like, you know what? That's what I will be known for then, because that's what I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like with my, like I play music for a living. Like I'm a drummer, so it's like I do like people hire me to play the music and stuff like that locally, and bands and stuff. So that's how I pay my bills. That's what I do.
Cool.
And so like I have a hobby for a job, and so I needed something to like do that wasn't music involved. And I was like, I want to get back into doing the Jurassic Park thing again. And like I miss the nostalgic of having all this stuff. Like, I mean, like I said, I don't collect Star Wars stuff. I don't do superheroes or anything like that. Like, this is the only thing that I collect, and it's just Jurassic Park. I don't get like other brands of dinosaurs like the Papo stuff or anything like that. I mean, I just do Jurassic Park, and I find peace in it, in a way where it's like I can just come and sit down here, I can paint a dinosaur, I can put on, Brad's podcast, and or just put on like John Williams soundtrack and just kind of like vibe out, where I'm not having to play music or anything like that. I can just chill, paint a dinosaur, and just be in my own vibe, and that's where like I really have enjoyed being active on Instagram and interacting with everybody. I've met people from all over the world who are like-minded individuals, and I feel like we all like come from different backgrounds and speak different languages, but we all speak one language, and it's Jurassic Park, man. Because
exactly.
You can get in a room with somebody and you don't speak the same language, but you show them an Ian Malcolm figure, and they're like, and if they played with that as a kid too, they know what you're talking about, and it's like,
yep.
I think it's
Dude, you're giving me goosebumps right now. With what you said, that's awesome, because that's exactly how it is. This is a universal language with everybody.
It's such a small group of people too. It's not huge like Star Wars or Star Trek. It's a very small group of people, and so I think that's where it's like that close knit community, and
much passion,
we all
that's why.
Yeah, we all share the work that we do, and pictures, and it's just like. Like I've got people that follow me that are in UK, and people who follow me that are in Germany or wherever, all over the world. And it's like they post pictures of like dioramas of their dinosaurs and their humans, like they did when they were kids. And it's like I was doing that same exact thing in my backyard when we were little kids too. It's like we all did the same thing. We can all relate to that, And I think that's what's so great about this Jurassic Park. That's what it does for me and for the community. I think it's a great thing, And I'm happy to be a part of it, man. I mean, I really.
Me too, man.
I didn't think it was even going to take this escalated quickly. Like I really, I started with painting a dinosaur, and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm in the community, I'm with these people, I'm communicating with them, I'm helping them out. They're asking me questions on how can they start painting dinosaurs, and it's like, I mean, it's just a great thing. I've had so much fun the past like 6 months or whatever. I'm just collecting and painting and talking with people, man. It's been amazing. So it's a wild ride.
That's kind of how it started with me. I my Instagram page before was just like randomness in my life, It was just I post some art, but then I created just a separate page just for my artwork, because I felt like some of the stuff that I would post, like just pictures of me just on a train or something, like it didn't relate too well with just trying to get an audience for my artwork. And then I started posting some. I remember hearing the news of Jurassic World finally getting the green light, because I've been waiting for that for a long time, and that just like sparked my Jurassic Park fan in me that's been there the entire time, but I had no venue to really show it. And I would have like little spurts here and there of like I would just post like all the DVD collection of Jurassic Park that I have, and I'd get comments like, "Wow, you're a dinosaur nerd," and all that, and I'm like, "Yeah, I am. I love Jurassic Park." And you get, little spurts like that. But then the day I posted the picture of like my collection after I got it back from like storage, that's where it just blew up. And I was like, dude, I've been doing this since I was 8 years old. It's crazy how like the community, it just there's so much passion in this community of Jurassic Park and for dinosaurs, and how this has branched out into everybody's lives, whether like you do music and you just want to do this, and like other people went into the science field. I went into the art field, but I try to put dinosaurs in everything I do. And now, as you know, I'm a tattoo apprentice, and I can't wait till I start tattooing dinosaurs on people. That's like what that's like my goal. My goal is to tattoo a dinosaur on someone, and hopefully that person shows it to somebody else, and I get people coming in getting dinosaurs tattoos.
Everybody go find Jay's tattoo shop, and he's gonna tattoo Site B on everybody's hip. We're all gonna get Site B.
Awesome. That would be awesome, dude. So it's like you said, it's a universal language with this, and I mean it's this obsession with this collecting, but there's so much love for it, and it's not you can't really explain too much. You guys just be in it, you know.
Yeah, it's hard for my wife to understand, you know, like I can sit down here and look at rubber dinosaurs and she's like, how can you do that? You can just sit there and paint for hours. And I'm like, how do you sit there and read romance novels for hours? Like, I don't get that. Like, that just seems boring to me, you know, but I was like, this is what I do. I mean, but it's hard to explain it to somebody, to get them to feel that sense of nostalgia, you know, because unless you did it, unless you were in it and you were a part of it back then, it's just difficult for you know, for somebody to be like, oh, okay, I get when you hold the Lost World Stegosaurus and all these all these feels come in, you know, and it's like, I remember having heard of them and recreating the scene where Malcolm and Nick and Eddie come across the Stegosaurus,
and you do that now with your pictures, which is awesome. Yeah,
and that's
I love those pictures.
I think that's where it's like, that's almost like another art form that I do. I'm not really good at drawing or anything like that, but it's like, recreating these pictures that I make, it's almost like through the eyes of a child, through the eyes of us. We were kids, you know, like with like cool effects and you know, lighting and filters and like that kind of stuff, and making it look awesome because that's how we see it when we're kids, you know. And
you said that like you have your daughter help you out as well, right?
Yeah, she comes out. That's
incredible. That's awesome
stuff, and
that's
so it's
cool.
like. And so we have the ability to bond through that, you know, and I think because she's always been a big fan of dinosaurs, and it helps us to, like, it gives us something to do together, like a hobby to do together. So we'll be out in the backyard, you know, just a couple JP nerds out there setting up dinosaurs and getting angles just right to see if we can get, you know, the image to come out just right. You know, it's got to be perfect, you know, and then I'll match it up with the one on the screen, and like, if I can get it to look exactly like it, I go for it. You know, sometimes it's difficult to set it up just like that, but yeah. So that's I really enjoy doing that a lot, and I hope that I don't ever run out of movie scenes because I've done so many, and I have to slow down because like I'll just go out there and I'll just like, oh, this would be a good one, this would be a good one, you know, and I'll just keep doing them. Like, I'm gonna eventually just run out.
Well,
you know, I don't have any Jurassic Park 3. I don't have any Jurassic Park 3 stuff. Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
And then, like, they had, like, that mini universe of, when Jurassic Park 3 came out, they had those, like, side books, like Survivor with, like, Billy or whatever. So you can, you know what I mean, there's enough material to keep you going for a while, and then you can just make stuff up. Or you can start using the comics. You know what I mean? Next... well,
that's what I started doing. I started doing the collector's cards, you know. I did a series of those. Then I saw, you know, there's all the Topps ones too, I guess, that came out, and then the ones that came with the little die-cast dinosaurs. I don't have any of those, but I was going through Google image search, and I was looking at all the I did one recently with the Ankylosaurus and like Ian Malcolm in the Jeep and everything like that. But I used the Hasbro Ankylosaurus, so that's like the best one out of all of them. I love that one. And I repainted,
really well
so
done.
It's like pretty looking, you know. And so I was going through all those cards. I'm like, oh man, I mean, there's plenty to do, you know. There's you know, sky's the limit on the cards, you know, so it's like that between the movie scenes and of course I haven't even touched Jurassic Park 3 yet, but I don't have any of the humans or the dinosaurs from that, so maybe that's what I'll...
You know, you could always customize and make your own at Kenner size, you know what I mean? Like I did that with the Owen figure. I made an Owen figure. I was like,
I went too, because I was like, man, it kind of sucks not having an Owen, you know. Kind of universe Owen, you know, so I did that, and I'm terrible at making humans, man. I feel like that's like my worst thing. I can never get the paint right on them, dude. I don't know how. There's one guy on Instagram I follow, and he paints action figures like Marvel characters, and they look like real people. I don't know how he does it, man.
Nice.
But the Owen, the Owen that I made from the what did I make it from? I made it from Robert Muldoon and I think a Congo guy's body.
Yep, that's what I used. That Tom or something. Yeah,
you know, completely different states, man. We're same wavelength.
I used what was it? I used the head sculpt was from that Congo guy, and like the top of his body, and the bottom, his legs. I used the Nick Van Owen from the High Hide, and I like sanded down the like pieces on his pants to make him just like, you know, regular jeans. Yeah. And then I colored him. Then I took I found it was like a G.I. Joe type of gun that looked exactly like
that gun.
Yeah. And then I
that.
I added a little type of chain on it or whatever, small, and then like this rubber piece, because I have boxes with just random stuff in there.
Yeah.
Like you look at these boxes, it looks like just recyclables, plastics and weird little like broken remote controls and stuff. And I'll use all that stuff to create all the stuff that I do.
Yeah. I never throw anything out, man. I have a box too. It's full of like tails and arms and like inner head. Like I have so many. For some reason, I have a ton of like Jaws Jackson body parts, and I think because he was so easy to find in thrift stores back in the day, But he's like always missing the hat. So he's got that little random like goofy looking plug on top of his head. But like, somebody would look at that box and say it's just a box of garbage. But dude, I can make a lot of customs out of that box. So that's why I never throw anything away, man.
Yeah, exactly. If you're into customizing like me and Ted are, don't throw stuff away. Like even I swear, like sometimes I'll see like I'm finished drinking like a bottle of like Gatorade, and I'll look at the Gatorade and be like, you know what? That could be something that I could use that. Like I cut the top of the Gatorade, use it for a bubble glass of something, and I actually have an idea for that. And I'm working on that too. So it's like
that's what I had an old pool pump from my Intex swimming pool, and it broke, and then the base of it, I was gonna throw it away, and I looked at it one day. I was in the junk pile. I was like, oh my gosh, I can make a raptor pen out of that.
I saw that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's an Intex pool pump base. That's all it is, like a gray base. And so I was like, all right. So I took it all apart, and I'm down here like tinkering with it in my room. And my wife's like, what are you doing down here? I'm like, I'm making a raptor paddock. She's like, oh my gosh, you're making a raptor paddock.
Exactly. The creativity that flows out of here with this stuff, it's awesome. You turn into an artiste with this stuff, It's great. And what you're doing is awesome, and it's great for the community. Let me ask you one more question before we roll out of this one. I'm gonna ask, what do you think is your strangest piece? Actually, I have two questions. What's your strangest piece in your collection? You would say the weirdest one, or weirdest, like let's say maybe that you painted or that you have,
Let's see. I'm looking around. I want my strangest piece I have it's like it's a mixture of a Walmart dinosaur and a broken Velociraptor. And the only reason it's got like this dragon-shaped head and like.
Oh yes, I saw this.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing because like they were doing that Jurassic World hybrid challenge, and like I can't draw, so I was like, I'll just make a custom toy of it, and so I did, and it's creepy looking, but like I'd keep it because it's just weird looking, and it's blue and teal and black and like white claws. It's stupid looking, but
no, I thought it was pretty cool how you came up with that.
Yeah. But again, all of this stuff came from that big box of like broken dinos and stuff like that. And
that's awesome.
I got the gears going, man. Yeah. Dude, you imagine if we had Stan Winston's studio? Dude, we'd be unstoppable. We had all the stuff in that.
That was like my dream growing up. I'm trying to go into that. And I mean, like I when I was in school, I fell in love with sculpting. I haven't sculpted in a while, but I'm getting back into it. I don't know if you saw that drawing I did of Rexy coming out of her shell and the egg. Yeah, I'm gonna be sculpting that very soon.
Okay. I wish that's the thing. One thing is like I wish that I could sculpt because it's like,
dude,
if I could
just watch some videos and whatnot. You know what I mean? I've been in the artist field for a long time, so it's a lot easier. But I always tell people say, "Oh, I can't draw." You can draw. The biggest problem that people have when they go to draw is creativity. If you don't have creativity, then you're just gonna be you're just a photocopy machine. You can draw and learn how to draw something awesome, but now when you want to draw from your mind and expand your artistic abilities, it all is about creativity. And by what I've seen that you do, the creativity is there. Just you if you really want to go and start sculpting, I mean, you can do it, dude. You just have to you just watch a couple of those YouTube videos, I swear, and you'll start learning. You know what I mean? I'm fortunate I have a really good friend that is a sculptor and has shown me a few tricks, but we can talk after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I've done tails and
they look good.
Yeah, I've done that, and then Rexy's neck. I've gotten really good at doing the wrinkles in Rexy's neck because I had to do for the Stomp and Strike T-Rex because Hasbro's neck rubber that good attempt at trying to put some rubber on the dinosaur, man, but it was just flimsy, cheap rubber, and the paint wouldn't stick to it, so I had to rip the rubber off and then actually sculpt the neck out of clay.
I was so excited for that piece too, and then when I saw it in person, I was like, oh man.
Yeah. And it was just really chintzy, so like it stomps, but it doesn't strike anymore because the neck is just solid clay. But it's still, I mean, it's just learning how to get those grooves and like.
It's a stomp T-Rex. That's it.
Yeah, it's just a stomp T-Rex. Yeah, that's all. I got it for $9 at Walmart, I think, on clearance, which is better than
it's the you know, like from Finding Nemo, Bruce the shark. It's the Bruce the shark of the T-Rexes. It's not gonna strike you. It's just it's just gonna stomp around. Be nice.
Yeah. Man.
Hey, let's see. Actually, I have two more. The last one I'll save that I'm gonna be using for everyone else. But do you sell any of your customs, or are they just for yourself?
I just do it for fun and to help people with you know, that nostalgic part in their brain when they see it on Instagram. It gives them a smile, gets them through their day. I've done my job, man. Yeah, I don't sell any of my stuff. This is all just my things to look at. I sent Brad an Indominus Rex, though.
Which looks awesome, by the way. I saw it.
Yeah. Just to kind of thank him for everything he does for the podcast. But yeah, I don't sell anything, man. I just keep it to myself.
Cool. Well, maybe one day, because people, I seem to see comments of people asking for some of the stuff.
But I get messages all the time. People are like, "Hey, you gonna sell that? You gonna sell that Rex?" I'm like, "No, man. I spent like 2 weeks on it." I'm like, my wife's like, "You should sell that." I'm like, "And do what? Buy more dinosaurs with it?" Ah, okay, I will. Got you, babe.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. The stuff I've sold, I use it just for that, to buy more Jurassic Park stuff. That's where it goes to. So when people when people buy stuff from my store, Jurassic Park, stuff, the shirts and stuff that I do, designs and whatnot, you're helping the collection. You're giving towards the collection, guys. You know, I mean, that's the way it goes. I don't use it for anything else but that. You know. Yeah. So that's a question I was curious about, because I see that a lot of comments on that. And my last question, since this is hunters or gatherers, would be, what dinosaur or what piece or what anything in the Jurassic Park memorabilia library are you most after? Like, what you really are most sought after piece? You know, like for Roland, it was the T-Rex. That was Predator. He wanted that on his wall. What is what you want the most out of, like, it could be anything, dude. There's a huge library. It doesn't have to be toys. And we got the Chronicle stuff coming out.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, we got stuff from Horizon back in the day, that Brachiosaurus. That's one piece that I really want. You know what I mean?
Oh dude, that'd be so cool.
Let's see, like, you can give one or two, whatever, because I know this is a tough question, because it's like, I mean, honestly, this is your T-Rex of the Jurassic Park collection. This is the buck, the one and only.
I'm a simple man, Jay. I'm a simple man, and I'm gonna lay it out for you. I'm a simple man. All I want is the command compound. That's all I want. It doesn't even have to be complete. I just want the command compound and the electronic in it, so when I press it goes Jurassic Park compound, the cure. Like, I just want to hear that again.
And not lying. Yeah.
That's. I mean, I'm awesome. You know, I would love the mobile command center, because that would make some really cool pictures that I can't do right now because I don't have it. And one day I'm gonna get it, maybe. But yeah, man, the command compound. I used to have that when I was a kid. I remember finding that at a thrift store, and I think that's only because it's a nostalgic piece. I never had the mobile command center, so I don't have any like nostalgic attachment to it. I only want it strictly for photograph purposes for the images, you know. But the command compound, man, to have that thing, even if it's in rough shape. You know, that's what that's my buck. That's what I've been looking for on eBay lately. So
nice. Well, have you ever?
Because I've got tons of fencing. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 things of fencing, man.
Nice. Wow. All right.
Yeah. Thrift store shops.
If you do ever find it and it's not complete and you have certain missing pieces, I have extra pieces.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do. I just don't have a second one to give away.
Yeah.
I mean, I just have one, and I got it a few years back. I got it inboxed.
Yeah, I see them like, that's the thing is like, and I don't collect like in the box stuff. Like I know the mint stuff. I save that for guys who want to collect that. I love loose dinosaurs.
So
I love
do I.
to be able to
I don't
take it
really
out.
care. I don't care for boxes. Like
I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 things in a box. No, 4 things in a box. I got an Ellie, a Raptor, Packy, and Roland Timbo with the T-Rex Turner face in the box.
Nice.
That's
it. I think you got those for Christmas, right?
Yeah, I got those for Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have some stuff in box that like is completely in box that's never been opened, but it's not too much because, like again, like we said, we played with these toys.
Yeah.
We didn't at what was it like 7 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
I was not gonna keep it in a box. That thing was out of the box once I got in the car. I got out of the store and it was already out, and I'm already playing in the car with the figure. So, I don't have much box stuff, and I see the prices some of them go for, and I don't know. I like to hold these dinosaurs. Like actually, instead of holding a box, I like to actually have the dinosaur in my hand. Most of the box ones right now are like the Jurassic World ones because they're so like fragile.
Yeah.
I feel like if I take it out of the box, it's just gonna turn to dust.
Yeah, I've got one. I found those for like $5 a piece at a Five Below store, and I got the T-Rex, 2 Indominus, 2 of the Blue Raptors, and then I got ones for repainting, which is the Packy, the Allosaurus, and the Ankylosaurus. But those are the ones that I've taken out because they're just too fragile. My kid doesn't even want to play with them. I'm like, here, why don't you play with these? And she'd rather take the old school stuff outside, which I'm fine with that. So that's why I've always tried to get 1 or 2 of each one. So I've got doubles of most stuff, so she can take the ones outside and play with them. And I think that just helps like make memories.
Definitely
20 years from now, she'll be like,
Definitely.
oh man, I remember taking that ram head outside and bashing the cars with it, and
yes, and creating that scene.
Yeah, that one pack you did that. So push the head down and it press the button and that thing comes jamming out of there. Oh my gosh, that thing was awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it like it's crazy how like back then all these memories we created, we look back now, and like back then when it was actually happening, we didn't know how important it was going to be later on,
Yeah.
And she doesn't even know that right now. And then later on, she's going to remember like all the stuff like playing with these toys. Not only that, sharing these memories with her dad. So it's like even better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude, you're doing great stuff for the community. Like your work is awesome. I'm a big fan of it. As looking at it as a fan of just like Jurassic Park, and as an artistic fan of looking at your artwork, which I'm very selective with the people I admire artwork with. And I love what you're doing. Your repaints, your customizations, you're adding onto like the Kenner line. You know what I mean? Yeah. You've even inspired me to get back more into the customizing because I've kind of let go of it a little bit, and you got me back into it. I have some stuff coming out, and I'm like,
we need more Ray Arnolds, baby. We need more Ray Arnolds.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. It's awesome, dude. So, I mean, that's why I wanted you to be like one of the first guests on here. And it was awesome to speak to you about all this stuff, your collection, and why you love Jurassic Park so much. So I'm going to end this episode, but tell people where they can find you. So
you can find me on... well, actually, let me interrupt Jay as he's trying to tell me that. God, sorry, dude. I'm stepping all over your words.
That's cool.
You can find me on Instagram at Ted Brothers, and in my bio on my Instagram, there's a link to my YouTube channel, and on my YouTube channel, there are like dozens of time-lapse repaint videos. I show you how I do it in a time-lapse manner, and you can repaint your own dinos if you want to, but that's where you can find me at.
Awesome. Guys, follow his work. If you're a Jurassic Park fan, you gotta follow his work because it's great, and what he's doing is awesome. You know what I mean? He's creating stuff that we've dreamed about. Like, oh, we've always wanted this type of figure, and he's doing it. And go watch his videos. You can learn a thing or two, and just like if anybody has questions, they can ask you, right?
Yeah, man. Message me. I'm always available. I'm a 100% stay-at-home dad, so play music at night. But yeah, send me a message. I will be more than happy to answer your questions.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for being on Hunters and Gatherers. Amber Fine's Collector's Corner, I would say. And thanks, man, for being on here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Jay. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, guys, till the next time, hunt or gather. See ya.
Hold your fire, do not fire.
God creates man. Man destroys God. Man creates dinosaurs. Boy, I hate being right all the time.
We're gonna have to drop the can. Are you ready? 1, 2, come on!
This week in the audio segment, we have a short clip from Wired.com of Samuel L. Jackson reading and answering questions. Of course, there was one for Jurassic Park. Let's take a listen.
I know that you're not a Pulp Fiction fan. What happened to Samuel L. Jackson in Jurassic Park? I guess I got eaten. They ripped my arm off and left it in a shed somewhere. I never did actually get to go to Hawaii to shoot that scene. Said I was supposed to work on or run from the raptors through, got blown away by a hurricane. What movie does Samuel L. Jackson say?
So, how bad would you have wanted to see that scene? Poor Sammy didn't get to film down in Hawaii, he didn't get the chance to be chased by raptors, but ultimately I think it was for the best because you wouldn't have got that shock when his arm falls down in the maintenance shed down there on Ellie. You wouldn't have had that much suspense as to what happened to him, where did he go, where has he been this whole time, if you saw him actually get chased by these raptors. What do you think? Do you think it was a missed opportunity? Would you have liked to have seen that, or do you like it more the way it is? Let us know, send us a message, an email, a tweet, anything like that. We'll make sure to read it next time in the show. Anyway, you can find a link to the full video where he answers way more questions within our show notes.
Are you hearing this?
Make sure to visit JurassicParkPodcast.com to find all our past episodes, brand new news articles, information on how to contact us, and much more. It's a great source for everything related to the podcast, and of course, Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. Head to JurassicParkPodcast.com and help us build a great community.
Anybody hear that?
Thanks for listening to the 92nd episode of the Jurassic Park Podcast. Of course, a huge thanks to Jaye Jurassick for the bigger version of Amber Fine's Hunters and Gatherers, and of course to Ted Brothers for joining him. It was great to finally hear Ted here on the podcast. I've been wanting to get him on here for a while, but Jaye Jurassick beat me to it. We'll have to do it again sometime. Don't forget about the promo code that we're running with the Franklin Institute for Jurassic World, the exhibition. Only a little bit longer left. Enter the code JWG ENER for $5 off daytime adult admission tickets. Head to our website for a direct link and for more information on the promo code. Don't forget to share that code with your friends and family, tell them where you got it, and let us know when you use it. If you want to interact with us, we do most of our work over on Twitter at Jurassic Park Pod. We're also on Facebook at facebook.com/Jurassic Park Podcast, and our Instagram handle is at Jurassic Park Podcast. You can listen to us via iTunes, Google Play, Podomatic, YouTube, our website, or wherever else podcasts are found. So make sure to subscribe to automatically get new episodes every week. If you haven't already, please give us a 5-star review on iTunes or a great review wherever you listen to the podcast. It will seriously help out our rankings and make it easier for fans like you to find us. We're usually spotted commenting on the Jurassic Park subreddit as Jurassic Park Podcast. Don't forget to check out JurassicParkPodcast.com for all the links you heard here today. If you want to get a hold of us, you can email us with any news stories, MP3s, comments, or if you want to debut a segment of your own, just like Hunters and Gatherers, you can send them to JurassicParkPod@gmail.com, or you can submit questions directly on our website contact form. If you'd like to record something for the show, send it in to us and we'll feature it in an upcoming episode. If you don't have any way to record, you can give our voicemail line a call and leave us a message. That number is 732-825-7763. Thanks for listening and enjoy.
5 minutes. Drop what you're doing and leave now.